Hi, welcome to Fight Editor, a show where we analyze and solve pure kerfuffles from MMA world and beyond.
Sorry. You asked for it. You asked me to stop, and it's going to get progressively more ridiculous. It's your fault. Don't blame me.
Exactamundo. I'm your host, Lexi Auld. Joining me as always, the handcuffed Kid Nate from Bloody Elbow and from Aussie.com, and author of Fight Everything Everyone About Ass Kicking, but we're afraid to get your ass kicked for asking. EUGENE'S.
Nicely.
Now,
You're not gonna call him the thick black Duke?
Hey, I'm only 214. When do I become thin?
Like 175, I think.
You can forget that, Jay.
damn, man, that's
a
the
boy?
gaunt black dude.
I'm 6'1", man. If I came into the show at 175, you guys would be like weirded out.
Boy
Like
was
a
like
emaciated black duke.
he was 5'9", and I think he was weighing like 125 for that tour. Like if you look at him, David Bowie on the Thin White Duke tour. He was doing mountains of cocaine, and he was a toothpick in a suit.
Hey, where's he now?
David Bowie?
Yeah, is he
He's
in
in
LA
heaven.
or is he living in?
Man.
He's living in heaven. Can
Uh-huh.
I take Lyft? Can I take Uber or Lyft to get to heaven? Is that? No, I can't. Right? I can't. I
you're
can't
right.
But while we're
access it.
talking about lofty ambitions
Yes.
and weight or weightlessness, Eugene, your UFC flyweight champion Demetrious Johnson.
Huh?
UFC President Dana White told TMZ Sports, live and in public, if you will, that you are lying about your UFC marketing and money problems. Quote, he wanted upfront money, no pay-per-view. He wasn't very confident in his abilities to sell pay-per-views. He has the lowest selling pay-per-view in the history of the UFC in the modern era, end quote. As far as the UFC's failure to market you, we built a TV show around him. The Ultimate Fighter 24 was about what an incredible fighter he is. We put on Fox many times and tried to build him. And it is what it is. It's not me. The claim that UFC would shut down the flyweight division if you didn't fight bantamweight TJ Dillashaw, we've been talking about shutting down the flyweight division for about 3 years. It has nothing to do with Demetrious, end quote. What is your next PR move, Demetrious, in the UFC Civil War?
Hey, if I'm Demetrious, you know what I actually do? Because remember, there are 3 categories in the Civil War: WME, UFC, Alpha, Beta, and the Zetas. He might be surrounded if he's unfortunate. If I'm Demetrious, I need to check to make sure I'm not surrounded by the Zetas. Guys who are just like, man, you need to go in there. You know what you need to do? You need to fucking go in there and you tell that fucking ball. You go, hey, I don't give a fuck who he thinks he is. You go in there and you tell him, okay, those guys, those are the Zetas. You can't listen to those guys. You know, the Betas, of course, are all the other fighters who are, various degrees of cowardliness, and then maybe some clear thinking survivors. But, the Betas are the ones that could help you get over the hump. Not the Betas at the UFC, because that's an unhealthy organization. The Betas at the fucking WME might listen to you. And I'm not saying that you go to them for any other reason other than like, hey, they say my Q rating is low. I got some time on my hands now. What do you say? Screen test. Put me on for something. I'll do extra work. I'll do walk-on work. I'll do feature work. I'll do theatrical work. I'll do commercial work. I'll do whatever you got. I got a beautiful wife. I'm undefeated for the past 14 million gajillion fucking years. What do you got for me? What do you got? And I make a deal with the fucking Betas. And in regards to what he's going to do with the fight portion of the organization, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know what we call this? We call this your move. So the Donald Trump mechanics of I say something to you and then you say something back to me. It's not like it's attained a nullity. Nobody believed, a very small percentage of people believed the bald one. If you were checking the comments, some Baldwin nut jumpers were like, oh, he was, and I think there were less Baldwin nut jumpers and more DJ haters than anything. They're like, oh, well, he's a, but the reality of it is when he said, oh, it has nothing to do with him that our thoughts about killing the flyweight division. Really? Really? You don't even look like you believed it when you said it. Get the fuck out of here. And the reality of it is, at this point now, you got to kill it, or he's like, bench him or play him. You got to, you got to do something. At this point, Demetrious doesn't have to do shit. I just sit at home, count my money, train comfortably. Is Ray Borg going to fight? I'd like to see him. Or come to me when Dillashaw makes fucking weight, early. If he wants to make weight now, I'll buy whatever. I don't have to do shit. I got the belt. It's like feed me, charge me, make her love me. Peggy Sue got married, Francis Ford Coppola, Nicolas Cage. They got to come to him. That's it. Or in this instance, if I'm DJ, they got to come to me. I make no hasty moves. If I'm surrounded by the Zetas, then maybe I have people I need to ignore. But in general, I got to work. I'm on the payroll. Give me something to do. I'm glad to do it. But this other bullshit, I'm not going to fight. Like, I don't fight with children. I see his parents arguing with their kids in the supermarket. I never did that. I tell you, I pick you up and carry you out because I don't argue with children.
What do you do, Nate?
Well, I think he needs to remind people that he's not ducking TJ Dillashaw. All he wanted was a guarantee that if TJ missed weight, he would still get paid like it was a title fight. Like, that's all he's talking about. And with DJ, like, they're paying him so little that not getting the title fight purse will be a major hit for him and might put him in the red. So he needs to get the word out because people are thinking that he's ducking TJ. They're not understanding the problem. And I know that when you're explaining, you're losing, but sometimes you got to explain shit because that's the only thing out there where people are not taking a side.
Or what?
Huh?
Or what?
Well,
what's going to happen?
If you want public support, I'm talking about to get public support. That's the only thing I'm seeing where people are not agreeing with him over Dana White. And it's just a detail they're not aware of. That's all.
And make it simple. That's what I suggest he should do. The fact that when he came out with the screed, I understand it. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of history there. You want to explain yourself. Problem is, we're living in the TLDR era, right? So he already made his point in his screed. He went on Ariel Helwani's show. He's laid out his master thesis. Now, like you said, Nate and Eugene, I think if you're going to say something, tweet it. Limited characters. This is what I'll do it for. Boom, that's it. Don't do the screed. Don't do the rants. Because I've noticed for him, I must say, I don't know if he had this effect on you guys. It's one of these things where the more he talks about it, the more annoying he becomes. And there are times when I was listening to him talk to Ariel Helwani, and I was on his side. And then it's like one of these things where you have someone that's like kind of funny or pleasant to be around, and then they just keep on going on and on and on. It's like, okay, all right, we got your point. So I think that what he has to watch out for is just not letting it get too much to his head in terms of expressing what he wants to come back with. But still, even if he does, runs his mouth and becomes a bore, the fact of the matter is, like Eugene says, he's in the driver's seat, so fuck it. But if he wants to win the fans over and just wants to stick to one point and also piss off Dana White, this is what I want. I'm training, or I'm out to so-and-so. I'm playing video games. I'm gaming. Playing to that shit. I'm too busy playing my games. These are the games that I play. Watch me on Twitch. Right. Do that shit. Totally play into that gamer shit and do that. Here's what I want from Dana White. Hey, this is it. I got real games to play. Do that.
Yep. Or I mean, the reality of it is, there's a point at which you stop doing business like assholes and you start doing business like adults. And at this point, if I'm DJ, I got nothing to say, man. I'm a fighter. I hire people. Actually, that little bit of money that you give me, I give a percentage of it to this guy who's called my business manager, and he's probably the one you should talk to. Otherwise, I don't really have time to be tweeting. Sorry, got shit to do.
But you know who would?
Mm-hmm.
Joel Romero's translator. Get that dude. My friend, Demetrious Johnson, only fights guaranteed money. And the Demetrious in the back.
Uh-huh.
That's right. Bring back the manager.
Yep.
All right, so Nate, you're the public theater. Your Donald Trump-themed rendition of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar caught the ire of conservative website Breitbart. A corporate backlash followed with two of your sponsors, Delta and Bank of America, withdrawing an estimated 7 figures worth of support from your company. Men are sometimes masters of their fates. So what can you do as other companies cry havoc and let slip their funding, dogs of war?
I mean, this is a pickle right here because the whole point of the Shakespeare play that they performed, Julius Caesar, is that you get a bunch of people who are freaked out because Caesar has seized absolute power, so they assassinate him. But in the end, they're worse off than they were had they not assassinated him. So they were trying to make a roundabout point, or at least the play makes this point, and they, said it in a sort of Trumpian setting, which this is old hat. This play has been done in all kinds of costumes throughout the years. It's been done as Mussolini, on and on. George
Obama.
Washington, the whole bit. Obama. And of course, nobody gave a shit when people spent, 8 years calling for the assassination of Barack Obama. Ted Nugent did it like 50 times and continues to get sweet corporate gigs. So, but be that as may, talk about, you're explaining, you're losing. This is just one of those situations where it's just like pearls before swine, man. You're wasting the bard on the American people. I say fuck it. I don't think people can be educated enough to appreciate what they were laying down. And, these are companies that back to fucking every horrible shit ever. I can't remember what the shining examples I had were. But what are you gonna do? People are too stupid for this. Just quit. No more Shakespeare. Go on strike. Say the American people don't deserve it. Bye.
No, look. You think these large companies are giving money to theater groups because they like theater? You got to watch that. You got to watch that one. That great SCTV thing where Scrapco presents, where Martin Short plays this oil company or this scrap metal executive, and he's like talking to the conductor. He goes, "Hey, is there any reason you're up there? You just waving your hands, And then by the end of the night, he's like telling dirty jokes, and he falls into the catering table, and it's like,
Oh, the robot. Mr. Roboto is cruel today. He freezes Eugene in a most unflattering position. You're back. Eugene, we lost you right around the time he was telling dirty jokes.
Oh, you're roboting too now. Am I back?
You're back. So talk.
On there for a second. So the guy was telling dirty jokes. He's falling in the catering tray. I'm back. Hello.
You're here. You're here. Talk.
What are you responding?
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
Yeah.
At two, Mr. Roboto.
Okay, yeah. Whatever hazy corporate objectives are being met by giving theater groups a bunch of money, the theater groups need to largely figure out, fuck these guys, You had to know that they weren't giving it because they were fans of theater. They were giving it for some other reason, and that you had to know that you're going to do some shit like that people were going to get their panties in a bunch and be whining and complaining, and Jeff Sessions was going to be trembling and pounding his fist on the table and declaring that he's never heard such a scurrilous lie. And you know what? It's outrage is a wonderful, terrible thing, and fundamentally, I don't give a shit. Anybody's outrage, I do not care. I don't care your sensitivities. I don't care about this is my belief system. I don't care. Fuck you. Fuck your God. Fuck I don't care. I do not care. Winnowed down to QTAT, quick time across town. If it aids and abets quick time across town, I'm for it. If it impedes quick time across town, I'm against it. And in this instance, if I'm doing a play and I'm going to have Julius Caesar, a.k.a. Donald Trump, stabbed to death, I got to know that I need alternative sources of funding because crybabies going to cry about it. So, if the question is, what do you do if you're them? You go back to your members, say, I'm sure you've been reading newspapers. We're ass out on this one. If you'd like to see more of it, put your money where your mouth is. And just like the $800,000 that went into some fund to pay for some cop who killed somebody because the Trump fans want to support the cops, you could support the stuff that you like, But otherwise, this is in my mind a non-story.
Do you think that it was intended to poke the eye of the conservative Breitbart media and so you get this outrage as a fundraiser?
Yeah, of course. I think things are so fucking fraught, and now people, it's like, I don't know if you've ever been in those situations. We're in a ramping situation. Like I said, in the fight book, I say there's not a single situation where a guy who's perfectly calm gets up and starts fucking swinging. Usually, it's a verbal ramp, and humans. I remember this guy, this great martial arts guy. He had a whole punching seminar, and he said invariably, he would try to teach people to punch through their target. And I don't mean hard overextend the punch. I mean, if you're running to a fight engagement, if you're a street fight and you're running up, he goes, 99% of the time people do the same thing. They run up to the scene of engagement.
The viewers here are saying Eugene
and then said, what? What?
Getting at this.
You're freezing again.
What? Yeah, you're freezing, man.
And the viewers are saying that there's no way you live in Silicon Valley with that internet connection. They say you live in Fresno, Eugene. Fresno.
That's funny. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me, so I just,
No, I can't hear you now.
We can hear you now. Beautifully.
So this guy Ralph Kanan would say that you punch through the guy. You don't, instead of setting, you run and you punch to the other side, so you stay in constant motion. So this is that kind of thing where you just keep in constant motion. Do not set. I mean, go. You had to know it was coming. If you didn't know it was coming, you should. Alternative sources of funding, get them to pay you. Keep on with your fucking play. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
When you said surprise, one thing going back to the Caesar and going to Trump and Dana White, what's with this whole Dana White negotiating on behalf of Conor McGregor, and he's not negotiating Conor McGregor? Like,
Jesus Christ!
You know what? Grander going on. What's that all about?
You know what? We hoped against hope that this fight would not be fate-ordered, and it's quickly becoming fucking fate-ordered. It's just like now Mayweather says, I'm not sure about this August 26th date. You know what? Fuck you guys. Fuck your horse. Fuck your pony. Fuck your show. I now officially don't care. If that fight doesn't happen on August 26th, I'm going to be washing my hair the next night it does happen. I'll watch the highlights. I don't give a fuck. You guys are playing some games, and that's par for the course with boxing. But in MMA, my fuse is so short, I don't have time for it. Don't have time for it.
And they're wasting a year of Conor McGregor. I mean, they've totally – and he did it to himself by going for Mayweather, which was incredibly ambitious, and hats off to him for that. But he's wasting a year of his prime, and while the iron is hot, and he could have been moving up to welterweight, he could have defended the lightweight title. There's a lot of things he could have been doing. He could have fought 2 or 3 or 4 times this year, and now it's looking like he's not going to fight at all. And this is just ridiculous. And like trying to put a fight together with Floyd Mayweather and failing, it's just bad. It's just bad. Like, and I don't know who has control of the situation. I don't know if it's Dana White. I don't think it's Conor McGregor.
That Baldwin doesn't have shit.
It doesn't seem like it. No. And
Floyd, think it's just games. This is a gamesmanship that Floyd is engaging in to fuck with Oscar De La Hoya. Isn't there an article on Bloody Elbow, Nate, where that theory is discussed?
Yeah, I mean, Floyd's got a lot of options, a lot of fish in the fire, and nothing to lose. If this fight doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. Floyd's retired. I mean, it doesn't make shit, and yeah, it's. I mean, Yeah, it's just I can't believe it's so close, and they're letting it slip through their fingers because they're fucking greedy, loudmouth, obnoxious idiots. It's very similar to the Fedor. All the years of not getting Fedor in there, which ultimately came down to Dana White being a dickhead, and it seems like that is once again being a factor.
Well, let's say that does happen, and the fight falls apart. Nate, what do you do if you're Conor McGregor? What's your next fistic steps, if at all?
I mean, Tyrone Woodley in the welterweight title is the only thing that makes sense. You can't back all the way down to Tony Ferguson and defend the lightweight belt, and you might very well lose. You know, I mean, there's some guys in the lightweight division that quite possibly could beat Conor McGregor, and that would be a Ronda Rousey level fall. And he's already flirting with a Ronda Rousey level fall. This is a classic tale of hubris. Icarus flying too close to the sun.
His anus flew too close to the sun and burned up his anus.
It was tragic.
So what would you do if you're Conor and the Mayweather fight doesn't happen, Eugene?
Well, first of all, to get it to happen, at this point now, I realize that money is not everything. You know, if dude gets 60 and I get 40, whatever. If dude gets 65 and I get 25, okay. As long as I get over 20 mil, I'm going to say I'm fucking happy. You take the rest of the money. Let's book the fight because people's patience is wearing thin. His patience should be wearing thin. What's he doing now outside of working with a boxing trainer fucking 18 hours a day? He's changing diapers, you know. So he's not doing TV shows, not doing TV commercials, not making movies, not making personal appearances, not doing theatrical work, not doing commercial work, not appearing on talk shows, hanging out with the baby, working on boxing. Admirable way to spend your time. Not going to be, and pretty much Kid Nate said it the best. It's like his game inside the fence. And when I say inside the fence, I mean MMA wise, his game now is just not lose. And it's tough because some people have a lot of latitude. Like they could lose. Fucking Bambosia lost. I still want to see that guy fight again. But Conor starts to lose, unless he loses to a Diaz, the bloom is quickly off the fucking rose. He's got to go back to the PR initiative and start ratcheting shit up again to get people interested. Taking that year off is more than a year from the cage. It's from a year from the fucking Q rating. It's a year from the catbird seat. You know, yeah, he said through May, I'm going to take care of the kid. And pretty much they should have spent that time profitably a fucking date. At this point now, it's even money that like you guys said that they're using it just to torment fucking De La Hoya, and Conor McGregor will find himself collateral damage. And damage is a correct word to use in this instance, you know. You're going to come out there empty-handed? You better call fucking Pacquiao something. People want to see.
That's what I mean. Do you do that if you're Conor? If it falls through, if the Floyd fight falls through, do you go for Pacquiao? Do you go for T. Wood? Do you wait until the Mayweather fight happens 2, 3, 4 years from now?
No, you can't do that. Absolutely can't do that. At this point now, you have to go. People want to see you box. You've made such a big deal about boxing. You got to do it. You want a $20 million payday plus ancillaries. You'll probably get that from Pacquiao. Do it. Book it. But this fucking cutesy shit that they're pulling, it's working on our nerves, and collectively, people are going to start yawning. Boxing fans may still show up, but fuck.
And the thing about Pacquiao is Bob Arum is just as big a pain in the ass as Floyd Mayweather or Dana White. I mean, you're entering a whole another round of hide the pee and endless bullshit with Bob Arum. So that's a risk you want to take if you're that dead set on it. Plus, everybody knows that Pacquiao's not. I mean, that this is the second best, and you know, like McGregor versus Mayweather has got this. Ooh, crazy! I never thought they'd put that together. And then if they don't, and they give you McGregor Pacquiao, it's kind of like, it's very Diet Coke. It's not
like the adolescents once saying, "Where you gonna go now? You hear that San Francisco second best? You got no friends." Man. So sorry.
Yep.
Depressing.
Hey, look, I've got an awesome police department pen. Anyway.
Oh.
I didn't realize they give you those when you get arrested.
I think my wife, you know, she.
Oh, your wife got arrested.
No, she's a prosecutor. She puts people in jail. So
I don't prosecute. What?
Hey, district attorney.
Hey.
That's district attorney to you.
That's right. Coming a little too close to little slanders here. And in certain states, I have to let you know, there's certain professions. There's certain professions that even the hints of impropriety is slander per se, and that will be enough.
Yeah, for what?
Tread lightly.
That's right.
Also, I'd like to take this brief moment out to send condolences out to Johnny Boney Joni about the passing of his mom.
Yep, got to second that.
She died. That's a drag.
Well, while we're on depressing subjects, Eugene, your HBO. At the ATX Television Festival in Austin, Texas, actress Alison Brie recounted the gross, misogynistic auditioning process for your Entourage show and contrasted it to the casting environment of her new Netflix show, Glow. How should you respond to the outrage?
If I'm HBO, I'm sorry, who's it?
Yes.
HBO
Yeah,
or show?
You're HBO.
You know what? Let me. I don't know if this is coming up later in the show. Did you put in there the Uber press conference today? Is that coming up later on?
Not as a official topic.
All right, so I can talk about it. So they're at the press conference today, and they're reading this Eric Holder report about sexual discrimination. And one of the board members, Ariana Huffington, is there, and she's saying, "Look, we gotta get more women on the board of directors." And one of the guys who's on the board of directors goes, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, more women on the board of directors will inevitably make a more diverse board, will make better decisions. What happens when you get more women on the board, baby? Is it going to get more talking?" He actually said this. He is now resigned. He said this at a press conference about sex discrimination at Uber. So if you haven't figured out that the environment is such that you absolutely can't fuck around, then you need to know you can't fuck around. So I don't know if her allegations are having water, but I certainly do know that Hollywood doesn't change much, and so I have no doubt that they do hold water. In which case they have to be as draconian as possible in writing that shit. Got to do it. It's not the old days. Not the old days when Brian Singer can fill a pool up at his house, allegedly with underage teenage boys, high on drugs, allegedly, and have sex with them, allegedly, and then get to work the next day. Those days are gone. Maybe.
What about you, Nate?
Well, it all comes down to, how hot is the show? Who are the players? Who's accused? Like the thing with Uber, the CEO took forever to take a leave of absence. This guy sitting on the board took 1 day. It's like if you're not important, if you're important, people will try to work out a deal. If you're not important, it's time to go. And so I haven't heard Entourage in a while. This is all.
Ronda Rousey was the last time you heard it when she was in the movie.
Yes.
There's an MMA connection for you, baby.
What a classic that was. A timeless classic. Yeah, so I think they can safely throw anybody involved with Entourage into the grease and blame them, move on, say they've, taken it very seriously, they're researching, blah, blah, blah. Maybe get the former Attorney General to write them a report. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, though. I don't think this is one pretty minor thing so far. So I think HBO can pretty much skate. It's not like Entourage is on the air right now, and, the casting couch awaits, ladies.
It's also not like this whole which I didn't put on the show this week because I'm waiting for it to blow up next week. It's not like that Bachelor Paradise Island kerfuffle.
What's the backstory on that?
So the backstory of that is they're filming this Bachelor series, and all of a sudden there was allegedly
Bachelor is the one where one guy dates 20 women and then picks his favorites.
Right.
Okay.
So what happens on this show is this is a variation of it. They tinker with the format somewhat, and so something happens. What?
He's just teasing.
Something happens so that they shut down the production and cancel it. That's
That
it.
was a dog snoring.
Oh. And so they cancel it outright. And then so what happens is rumors start to come to the surface. The first one is there's a black bachelor and a white female bachelorette. They get drunk. They make out. They have sex. People are disgusted. Producer the next day takes the day off. Show's canceled. Then more facts come out, or more other theories come out. It's that they were both drunk and she was unconscious. And this guy is having sex, is raping her, right? She's unconscious. And then drags her out of the pool because she's, it starts in the pool, it rapes her, drags her out of the pool, and starts going down on her on land. And then someone steps in and tries to stop it. Huge kerfuffle. The man that's alleged to have done the act sent tweets to friends of his. TMZ produced it saying like, oh no, they have the footage. Once you see the footage, I'm going to be exonerated. The truth will come out. Truth will set me free. So soon as that happened, cancel the show. So, but that's a kerfuffle to see if the footage comes out and how things are handled.
Well, once they canceled it, it's canceled. They don't uncancel shows like that. Like,
pardon?
Once it's canceled, it's canceled.
I don't watch TV myself, man. And can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's shit like this, man. I can't. There's a Stanford football once who ate dog poop.
A Stanford football player?
Yes, his name was Doug. I'll spare you his last name yes, right. Because we just don't want to go into it. It's hearsay unless I got photos. He ate dog poop, trying to scare another friend of mine who was also a football player. You know what? That's like TV. Big guys eating dog poop.
Man.
Ouch. What about Frontline? McNeil Lehrer. Come on. There's all kinds of
Frontline is like little guys eating dog poop.
Hey,
yes, sorry.
What can UK Prime Minister Theresa May learn from May?
Tap the fuck out. That's what she can do. That's what she can learn. Because her shenanigans ever since, she nominally won the election, but it was an election she didn't have to have. And she called it when she was 20 points ahead in the polls and was looking to grow her majority. And now she doesn't even have a majority. They're having to book this party, the DUP, that they call the Presbyterian Hezbollah. This is like the most homophobic, super sexist, super sectarian. I mean, this is the Orangeman, basically. This is like, Sean Fenn is sitting out. Actually, they came back into Parliament today, but they've been sitting out because there's been a big scandal in Northern Ireland, and the head of the DUP party was apparently caught in so much scandal that the opposing party said, we will not sit in a government with this person because she's completely corrupt and it's ridiculous. And so now Theresa May is so desperate that they're handing the whole kingdom over to these nut jobs from Northern Ireland, which could totally rip open the peace process in Northern Ireland again. The lady needs to tap out is what she needs. That's what she can learn from MMA. You got to know when you're done. I mean, her argument the other day, supposedly to the other Tories, was, I got us in this mess. I can get us out. And like, when you're making that argument, it's time to quit. That argument never holds water.
What do you think, Eugene? Eugene?
Yeah, I'm gonna let from MMA. She quit. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Speak.
All right, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I keep saying, can you hear me? You guys don't say anything.
Yes.
So, all right. So if I'm her, I take a page from the book of Chris Woodpile Weidman. I'm sorry. Is it February? Is it it's not February? And then I declare myself unfit to serve and go the fuck away because that coalition with DUP is not going to fucking hold. And even if it does, you got people breaking left and right, people on her team who are jumping ship. And you've already seen the next move that the EU is going to make. They're like, done now, do it now, do it now. You're going to go, get the fuck out, go. And they're just doing that because they're trying to force some hands, you know. It's like they don't want her around. She made a gamble, she lost. Take your chips or whatever. You take your chip and go home. You're done. David Cameron would have.
Well, Eugene, brings us to our teachable moment. Your first-term Rhode Island State House Representative, Ramon Perez. Last week, the House Finance Committee had a hearing, and you wanted to be a helper. So you printed and distributed a screen grab from your computer, which accidentally had pornographic page tabs at the top. What moves can you make to rebrand yourself as a different kind of freshman than your web surfing suggests?
Okay, hold on. Is he married?
I don't know.
You have children.
I
mean, if he's a single man at this point, hey, at least I'm not texting pictures of my junk to teenagers, and then he goes about his business, right? If he's a married man with children, he's got to say, I was doing research and some anti-porn initiative that I'm starting in order to make the web a safer place for our kids. If he's married and doesn't have kids, he's like, hey, my wife and I have a non-traditional way of approaching our sexuality. Deal with it and move on and step on into a future of making sure you got that shit closed before you start tweeting or sending stuff out. So there are three contingency plans. There's a single guy, married with children, married. And they're all at varying degrees of intensity, but this is not, ignoring this will not make this go away.
Man, what's your take, Nate?
Well, I'm going to switch to Kurt Eichenwald, this semi-reputable journalist who did a similar thing this week. This is the guy, if you don't know Kurt Eichenwald, like he's done some seriously good reporting. He's also had some pretty serious, ridiculous fuck-ups. And so the other week, he tweeted out a screenshot, and you could tell there was like one of the tabs, it was the same deal, one of the tabs was porn, and it was apparently like octopus tentacle porn or whatever. His story was that he was talking with his adult children and his wife, and that somebody said, there's porn for everything. And his wife had never heard of tentacle porn, so he was educating her about the shocking reality of tentacle porn, which is a pretty feeble and stupid excuse, especially for a guy who's literally filed charges against somebody for sending him a GIF because he claimed it was strobes and caused him to have an epileptic seizure. But like, basically, when you're in a hole, stop digging is the message. You know, if you're looking at porn, say, sorry, I should have cleared my screens. I don't think it matters if you're married or if you have kids, whatever. Just say sorry and move on. Like, you're not going to. I think the anti-porn initiatives thing is just.
And why don't you open some porn pages right now? Leave that shit open for the wife comes and walking in. And I'm not saying your wife doesn't looking at porn, not looking at porn, but the question is judiciousness, right? If you're looking at porn in a setting where your work colleagues are going to be exposed to your porn taste, you have blown it. If you're looking at porn in a setting where your children are now exposed to your porn favorites, you have blown it. If
and
you're
committing a crime.
Yeah, and if you are looking at inordinate amounts of porn and you are married, I just answered in the Sex with Eugene sex column, there was a question about that some woman found her husband's like jerking off to pictures of somebody other than her. On the one hand, it's his private time. He should be able to jerk off to whatever. But on the other hand, she's like, I'm here.
Did she want to have sex with him? That was the question.
I'd like to have sex with my husband more than my husband has sex with me. And I find out he's jerking off to pictures of other women. If you don't think this doesn't send a message to me as a wife who makes me want to have sex less, you'd be wrong. So it's a sticky wicket.
It is a sticky wicket, and also this shit will follow you. Like Josh Marshall from Talking Points Memo, liberal pundit, very respectable guy. He tweeted out a porno link, and it was pretty vanilla lesbian porn. But like my colleagues who are sport heads, that manage the other, like the football league at SB Nation, that's all they know about the guy. I thought he handled it fairly well. He was like, "Hey, I look at porn. Sorry, move on." But this is like all some people know about him now. This is now his brand. So,
Right.
Ouch. There's something
Somebody,
you can't undo.
a cop I take jiu-jitsu with described my brand the other.
Oh.
See? Mentions the cop, and then he's gone. Like I don't want to.
Well, that's what you get. Maybe the internet saved him from himself.
Maybe. It's way
So
too late.
that perfect segue for Kid Nate's heel turn.
Kid Nate's heel turn. So many things. I got two big contenders here. I might as well do them both since Eugene has wandered away, and now he's back. Okay, first heel turn. Megyn Kelly having Alex Jones on her show.
Yeah, boy, oh boy.
Fucking A. And this is a woman who was scheduled to present something at a Sandy Hook parents organization. Like Alex Jones has been going around saying that Sandy Hook didn't happen. The Newton Massacre didn't happen for years. And to have him on the air and let him repeat that shit. And by the way, he's now claiming he didn't actually say that. He just put it out there because some of his viewers question it. He says, I don't doubt that it happened. I just spent years, systematically running people into the ground whose children were murdered. I mean, this is the most low-down shit.
I have so much respect
that's
for my viewers. I will take
fucking
whichever
shameful.
theory they have and run with it for years.
And then say, no, I was just positing a theory. So Megyn Kelly is showing her true colors. She left Fox only in fact, not in spirit. And the other one is the fucking Senate Democrats, who are apparently happy to let the Republicans sneak through the repeal of Obamacare because they think they're going to get a bipartisan deal on sanctions against Russia passed. It's like, go out on the street and talk to some people and ask them, okay, between your health insurance and sanctions on Russia, which one are you more worried about? Like, people don't give a fuck about sanctions on Russia. What are we putting sanctions on Russia for? My diabetes? This I give a fuck about. My heart condition? Mom's cancer? This I care about. Senators, pull your heads out of your asses. People care about their health insurance. They don't give a fuck about the political crap with Russia. And all this Comey and Sessions shit, it's just turning into empty jerk-off bullshit theater. They won't impeach Trump if he shoots somebody on Fifth Avenue. Paul Ryan and the GOP will not impeach him. So just fucking take care of the business of the people and stop chasing your tail with this Russia bullshit. There.
Man. On fire tonight. Good call. Hey, there's the wins.
Hey,
he doesn't know the beginning.
Speaking of which, I rewatched Cruising last night. If you haven't seen that, I
Tom
recommend
Cruise movie?
seeing it.
With Al Pacino?
Al Pacino, hips and lips. It is a laugh fest from beginning to end. As far as it is like the gay leather version of Showgirls,
Except without any gay cast members. I mean, isn't it?
yeah. Well, there were plenty. No, there were
Acting.
no, there were plenty of gay cast members or extras. You're right, extras.
Yeah, extras. There's no leads. I mean,
Yeah, there were no gay leads, and it was a big, ugly controversy at the time. William Friedkin got blasted for it, and but it was you can separate yourself from that and watch it. It is a hoot, and it's got an early appearance of Powers Booth in a bit. Part. So you got an excuse to watch it, but you should watch it with your homophobic friends because it'll make them itchy. But it is fat. Some of the lines are just absolutely fantastic. And
Well, it sounds like it's a perfect lead-in for your Lost Battalion, Eugene.
well, you know what? I have sort of really mixed feelings about the Lost Battalion this week, right? Because can you put the Lost Battalion in the Lost Battalion? And I don't mean the Lost Battalion as an institution. I mean the placement of somebody in a Lost Battalion who's already Lost Battalioned. Can you double up on the Lost Battalionage without like it's like looking in a mirror and get infinite regress without just fucking yourself up? For example, if I say to you that Tim Elliott is in the Lost Battalion, haven't I just said the same thing twice?
Oh,
Okay, Seriously, if I tell you, oh, Ross Pearson is in the Lost Battalion, does that make you feel good? Look, Ross Pearson actually maybe is not in the Lost Battalion because I don't think he has any illusions about where the fuck he is exactly. I think what's more notable in this instance is maybe Dark Starred. You know, guys who are now in places where you will instantaneously never remember who they are. And it doesn't mean, and you see, usually Lost Battalion entries are people who have lost fights. In my mind, Dark Star guys could be guys who win fights. And I'm seeing Derek Brunson. You'll be asking me 3 months from now, 4 months from now, I'll say Derek Brunson. You go, oh yeah. I remember that guy.
Has he fought recently?
So I mean, and part of it is a fight that's got 1 foot in the Lost Battalion already, and that being the Mark Hunt Derek Lewis fight. I know people are like, oh, it was great. Well, yeah, that fight itself was great, man. But you had to wade through a lot of stuff. I mean, fucking, Zach Altow and Kuichi. Give a fuck about that fight? No. Really? Split decision, 3 rounds of that? No. So if either one of those guys, do I put Kunimoto? Do I put him in the Lost Battalion? Who gives a fuck? You only put people in the Lost Battalion who have got delusions of grandeur. Or you would get Kujimoto? What? No. So yeah, they're entries in the Lost Battalion, but since I barely care about them to begin with, is it a big deal? It's not a big deal. You got 1 foot in the Lost Battalion. There's no such thing as 1 foot in the Lost Battalion. Like my mother used to say about nail polish. You either have it on or you have it off. You're either in the Lost Battalion or you're not in the Lost Battalion. Halfway in the Lost Battalion, you're in. So
the viewers are saying your internet connection is Lost Battalion.
It is, and I've sat in the room where part of the problem is that I'm Xfinity Comcast. Of course, I've had such a miserable time with AT&T that I'm afraid to get AT&T, and those are the only 2 games in town. If there are other FiOS, not in California, man. I don't think so.
Man,
I've never heard of it. So if any
Verizon FiOS.
Really? Well, I get Verizon here. If anybody has any recommendations, send me a fucking link because I really am. These guys just charged me for a new. I spent the $100 for the new lightning fast upgrade, and I'm still getting fucked.
Man. Well,
you got fucked for $100?
Well, I'm a prostituter. I mean, a cuter, prosecutor tutor. District attorney. I mean.
That's right.
And there's one other thing I'd like to give a nod to before we sign off here, and I'm so shocked that you guys haven't brought it up. This is what we call the knuckle up. I see things, and I'm talking about the man who's bringing back CGS's baby, Creepy Goldberg Smiles, back. The dead-eyed smile back to Bellator with more Ronaldo. So there's only one guy. There's only one guy who loses here, and that's whatever the guy's name is, Jim Snidely or whatever the fuck his name is. Who was it? No, seriously, who was the cat's name?
Jimmy Smith. But there's another guy.
No, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith kept his job. There's the other cat. I'll tell. Sean Grande.
Oh, right.
Sean Grande. He's unemployed. And he's not looking for a pickup.
Don't call me Ariana.
And he's way better than Goldberg. He's way better than Goldberg.
It doesn't matter, man.
I know.
I heard a terrible story this week. I went to a friend's birthday party, and I talked to this woman who was at a major film company. I'm not going to say, I don't want to get her, but it's either ABC, NBC, or CBS. And we're talking about corporate culture. Yeah. And she says, well, when they do reviews there, they do 360 ranking, which means people below you give you they rate you as well as your peers, as well as your peers and your bosses, right? It's 3 all the way around. So this woman the woman tells me about this woman who works there who routinely gets zeros for people who have to work with her. Universally hated. Zeros, my square root of -2s, gets scathing reviews from the people who works with her. You know how long she's been there at ABC, CBS, or NBC? You know how long she's been there? 8 years. 8 years of zero bottom of the basement reviews. And you know who likes her? Well, she's here. Yes.
There you go.
That's the kind of shit that makes me want to get the timbrels rolling, man. 8 years. I mean, because fundamentally, if you own stock in that company, you should pull it out because the company doesn't care about the company. That's bad for business, you know, because
the company, I think I know your company you're talking about. I'm not going to say it, but they actually haven't done 360 reviews for that long. So it might be,
I think you're right,
like 8 to 10, 11 years, if that they've done the 360 reviews.
Yep.
And it's a whole thing. You got to game this 360 review. Like, it's like, you have people like seriously go crazy over that. Well, I can't grade people but so high. I can't grade them but so low.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So the fact that this is welcome to America. Like I said, people are obsessed with race because race is easy. Because you could be driving over a bridge and look over on the walkway path and see me and go, black guy. Race is easy to figure out. The big, unspoken fucking gorilla in American life is discussions of class and caste. That's the big one. That's the fucking big one, you know. And this is writ large over it, you know. You get your ass dragged on the carpet for showing up 5 minutes late, and this woman 8 years of negative reviews. Not a dent. Probably making about $300,000 or $300,000 plus a year, and is just destroying the company from the inside. How's that taste?
Good work if you can get it. That's that.
Yeah, exactly. Where can I sign up?
Oh, shit, yeah. Yep.
Thanks for joining us. Follow us on Twitter, EUGENE'S Robinson, Kid Nate at Alexi Old. Please give us a thumbs up, Eugene.
Ta-da! Some guy sent me an X-ray of a finger. He was like, "Man, this is your finger. You must really develop from." Yes, I do exercises. Much like the guy who did the free climb in Yosemite. These guys do finger exercises. Rock climbers.
Hey, their life depends on it.
Yep.
Leave comments on YouTube. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube, MMA Nation on iTunes. Visit Bloody Elbow. Buy the Thin Black Duke.
Yeah, some guy's fucking texting me. You know what he texted me? He says, "I'll buy your album and a T-shirt soon enough, so stop your belly aching." I'm like, hey, man. That's like saying you're going to blow me. The only blow me that I care about is now. Don't tell me you're going to blow me tomorrow. I want it now. Sorry, never mind. Don't be a homophobe.
Don't worry, they're going to watch. If there are homophobes out there, they'll have Cruising to watch.
Yes. Hips and lips.
For past episodes of the show, check out our If I Did It playlist, MMANation.com. And be sure to check out all three of us on Amazon.com. We'll be back next week with another installment, If I Did It. And we don't know what we're going to be talking about yet because the PR mistakes fit to be made.